Hello everybody. I'll be showing you how to install and work with Python. First of all, you'll need to download Python itself, which you can find on the official Python site, www.python.org. After that, you'll need to download Wing IDE, which is a programming interface for Python. And you can go into the download section and download Wing IDE Personal, which then you'll land on this page and you just click right here for the installer. The advantages of Python is that it's a more simple language to use. For example, you don't need to place a semicolon after each line, which has its advantages. You don't have to place semicolons. But the disadvantages here is that your code must be organized. As you can see here, every new line is supposed to be on a new line. You can't just, like in Java, write a statement, put semicolon, and without making a new line, continue writing it. Also, a lot of the functions and commands in Python are much simpler. For example, in Java, in order for me to print something, I would have to do something like this. Type in system.out.print and then type what I would want in there, which has its advantages, but it's also much more harder to do. But in Python, if I want to print something, I can just type in print open brackets, type in hello world, close brackets, press enter, and it would print it. Much more simpler. Same with the declaration of variables. They're much easier to declare. For example, you don't have to identify if it's a Boolean, if it's a string, if it's an integer. You don't have to. You can just name the variable and type it in value. For example, I can have a variable called bool equal to true. I have to capitalize the true, and then I have a variable. It automatically sets it to Boolean, and I can print it, and it's going to print true. Same with any other strings, integers, doubles, and so on. Now, arithmetic functions are about the same as in Java, where let's say my arithmetic function x is going to equal to 1 plus 4 times 5. Now, obviously, I can print x, and it's going to give me 20 plus 1. So next up, are functions, and functions in Python are sort of special and different from other operating systems. In order to declare one, you would have to write def space name of function brackets, and if you would want identifiers in there, you would type in your identifiers, then you would put a colon, and you press enter indent and type in what you want the function to do. And if when you want to use it, in this case I want to print it, I can just print open brackets function, the name of the function, then in these brackets I would put what I want my identifiers to be, close brackets, and when I press enter it returns me 15. So 3 times 5 is 15. Now if I do something like this and I only declare one variable, I will get an error because not all my variables in the function were declared. Now, in order to combat this, I can already pre-declare a variable. Example here, as you can see, I did my function and I already set my A, B, and C to be equal to 0, or whatever you want in this case. So in my function here, when I want to declare only A and B, I can leave C blank, and when it's going to print A as 1, B as 2, but C is going to remain 0, and it's not going to give me an error. And obviously, you can have a function or local variables in a function. Let me just restart my shell here. So in this function, I don't have any identifiers because I don't need them. So, and then again, I declare a local variable. This variable will only exist inside this function. So I have a variable called x, which is equal to 30, and a variable called y, which is equal to hello. So, and this function would print hello. And then I can just print or use funct3, oh wait, funct3, there you go. And it's going to print me 30 hello. As you can see here, it prints first variable x and then variable y. Next up is user input. Now, getting user input is really simple. You can just type in input, open brackets. Now, and then in these brackets, you can add a text that's going to appear before when you prompt the user for input. So example, input, what is your name? And when I click enter, it's going to ask me for my name. My name is Ivan. And then the return is going to be that input. Now, I can make a variable called x is equal to my input. And when I click enter, my name is Ivan. X is going to be equal to Ivan. And then I can print hello. And then I can print x, y, or my variable here, and it's going to print hello, Ivan. Now, obviously, you can make all types of sort of functions with these. Next up are if statements, and those are pretty easy. As you can see in the beginning, I declared an input, so this variable will equal input. Next, I declared an if statement, so you write it as if, then variable, and then condition, and then if condition is fulfilled, what you want to do. And then here I have an else if statement. So I have an else and then this. So when I run this program, what is 1 plus 1? If I'd say put in 4, it's obviously going to give me wrong. Is string manipulation. And this is here some basic ones. So example, I declare a double variable or an integer variable, then I declare a string variable, and I want to declare my third variable to be a combination of text and two variables. Now, if you notice here, when I run this, it's going to give me an error. This is because this one is an integer and it cannot be a string. So what we have to do is stop, and then we have to convert it into a string by adding this. And now this converts this variable into a string. So when we run it, it gives us this will cost $5. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now next is some other basic string manipulation. So we have here, the first one will give me the length of the words in here. Next is dot split, which will split this into separate different variables or parts. And this will capitalize this, dot upper, and this will lowercase everything. And this will just capitalize the first two. Here, not the best example because there's already capitalized. So for example, we do something like this. And when we click enter, so if we need to do it separately, length is 9, split is this. Obviously you can see this all works here, measure me, and then for example capitalize, it capitalizes it. Up is outputting only certain characters in a string or slicing a string. So for example, if I have this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and I want to print the fourth character index starting from 0, I can go 4, close, and it's going to give me 4 because it starts from 0, which is the last character. Now, for example, if I want to slice the word slice, I can do this. So this is going to print everything after 3. So as you can see, after the third, including and after the third index, so SE. And if I want to do it before, I can obviously do it slice colon 3, which is going to give me everything before the third index. Now, if I want to take just a middle between two indexes, I can do this. Now, so index, colon, and second index. And obviously this gives me IC. This is it for the Python tutorial. As you can see, this is the super basics. And obviously there's much more to learn above this.